Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. If you are new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button for me. That helps a small channel out. We're almost a month and a half into the ownership of the new Ford F-150 Powerboost. And so today I'm going to talk about things I like about the truck and the things that I don't like about the truck. Well, let's get started. First things first, I really like the look of the F-150. I think all of the trucks out there look pretty good. The Ram's getting a little stale just because the looks compared to the others, but I do like the looks of all three. But I really enjoy the lighting that they have on the front of this model. Now again, I think even at the STX level, that is a good looking truck. And then for 2024, they've changed a few little nuances, and I think all trim levels look pretty good. You know, when it comes to Chevy and GMC, some of their lower models, they change up things on the front end too. And one thing I can tell you is I do like these lights, these LED DRLs. I think they look fantastic. And I really do appreciate how bright the headlights are at night. I really haven't had to do any type of upgrades when it comes to LEDs because most of these are LEDs on here. Although the blinker is just a regular bulb, it is plenty bright. So the way they've manufactured the lighting housing, I really do enjoy that. Next, I also like all the blackout stuff. In Colorado, we have mag chloride salts on the road, just like many other states that get snow, and that just destroys that plastic looking crap. Chrome is pretty on some trucks, but I appreciate all the black. As stated before, I don't like chrome wheels. I'd rather have a cast wheel or a black wheel of sorts. I like the spoke wheels on Kong, and I really do appreciate these guys. And I do like the OEM stock tires. I think that these Hankooks are pretty good. I'm not endorsed by Hankook, but these things get around really good in the snow. They're not aggressive, they're not noisy, and I appreciate that. Now when it comes to the back of the truck, we have a good camera system. It's not the best of all three, but the screen inside is gigantic, so it uses all of that versus some of the other ones have huge screens and a small camera angle, especially when you pipe into 360 views. So I really do appreciate that. I do like the auxiliary lighting on here, or what Ford calls the zone lighting, be able to turn that on. Chevy has their own version of it, Ram has their own version of it, but I really do enjoy that on this model because this is not the top of the trim model. I do appreciate it being on there. One of the best things I think Ford did is the Bliss system, the blind spot stuff, where it picks up traveling traffic behind you and everything like that. I'll show you in a second on the screen kind of what it looks like, but I really do enjoy how well the system works itself. Some of the other companies do have their own version of it, and I think they all work really well, but I do appreciate how this works on this truck. Now inside the truck, this is where GM and Ford shine. They have the biggest crew cabs in the market, and we're not talking mega cab and Ram because Ram has its own crew cab and it is not the biggest. Now in the half tons, the Ram 1500 does well with that, and I think that the crew cab is still just a slight bit smaller than the Ford and Chevy, and this is why. In here, you can actually sit a full-grown human in the middle, so that's nice, and it's actually comfortable because we have no center hump in here from the drivetrain, and it's nice because I can actually sit here in the middle, and I am 6'2", and I got the seat up front moved back where I would like it, and I have so much room, matter of fact, that it's an actually comfortable place to be. I also really enjoy how in this trim model, we get all these extra little cubbies and storage. I think Ford definitely takes the cake when it comes to storage inside these vehicles. In addition to that, access to power points back here. We got a plug-in, we have a USB and a USB-C, and then we do have the old standard 12-volt plug, which is going away a lot of vehicles. We have big vents that are up and off the floor, which I appreciate that. And then, of course, all the extra storage here. The lighting up in here is excellent at night. It's all LED. In some of the models, I've said in the past that some of the Chevy models I feel are kind of dark inside. Ram does well with their interior lighting, but I think this Ford does really well. And then what they also do is up there on the actual lights themselves, there is a small little glowing dome light so you know where to push, and so the kids can find it easy. My kids definitely appreciate the room back here. As a matter of fact, my 10-year-old can actually climb underneath the seat, and he's a big 10-year-old and can climb underneath the seat and you can't see him, so he thinks that is fun. But what I want to show in that is does have exceptional storage. Now, even in lesser trims, you do get this. In the XL, you may not get this little storage cubby, but you can get the bigger one that folds down. But I do appreciate this. Lots of good stuff to hold my crap from sliding around. I know you can put an aftermarket one in, but those are added costs, and those are also hard plastic and stuff. This one is, you know, plastic here and then metal here. I like that a lot. And then I do like how it does have this latching system to keep the seat from falling down. The Chevy is a friction one, so you pull it really hard and it comes down. But overall, I really do enjoy how the interior is on this. I will say this, I think Ford has perfected the F-150 in respects to knowing what their consumers like, what drives them to come back and trade out and buy a new F-150. And the new F-150 isn't any exception. For 24, they changed a few nuances on the inside just to kind of doll it up a little bit more, but overall it's about this exact same truck. They're offering a little bit more tech, which is always cool if you're into that. But for a standard pickup, I like a lot of the safety tech that comes standard on this truck. Now, when it comes to interior quality, I think it's really good. We got some soft touch materials here. I do like this little bitty like road map. I don't know if it is someplace where the factories or where they're being built is. I don't know. It's just a cool little thing to have a nice looking interior when it comes to that. Now, before we climb in the front seat, I do love this keypad that Ford has. Now, I know you can put one on other models like Chevys and Rams. You can put one on. You got to kind of find a place for it. But I've always liked this keypad. I've had them on Fords forever. I didn't really use them until I started getting my trucks in 2021, and I really do like it. Now, hop in. The fire up graphics look really good on this model. And again, I've said it before, I'm not into the whole LCD screen at all. To me, I don't like that. I like some of the depth of the analog / the LCD screen. I think it's good. One nice thing about this truck is this cutout right here affords you just a little bit more visibility underneath your mirror. So if you're getting in tight places, I do appreciate that. And then again, this hits right where you need it to be when you're actually putting your arm up on the door, if you're one of those people. And if you're not, this armrest is right where it needs to be to use it, along with the height of the center armrest. So little creature comforts that I think are pretty nice when it comes to that. Again, based on trim, you may or may not get a leather wrap steering wheel, but I do like that. I do like this workup of the buttons versus the previous generations, and I've had Ford F-150s before. Now, I've said this in other videos, guys. Ford has the most comfortable seats when it comes to the actual softness of the seats. Chevy is the firmest, Ram is in the middle between kid. And so depending on which one you're into, if you like firm seats, then this is not the direction you go. But overall, hop in, drive for 8 hours. I think the F-150 does exceptionally well. Now, as we cruise through the interior, this being the XLT Premium, we get that big screen. We get these upgraded gauges when it comes to that. And then placement of all the stuff does go really well. Now, if I had the interior work surface, this would flip over if I needed to put a laptop in here for whatever reason. But this has everything where I need it, and you can even drop a water bottle in there. If you go up to the Super Duty, this slides over and creates 4, but that's a different animal. But this interior is going to be the same for the 2024, other than a few little nuances here and there. And if you're getting a new Super Duty, it's exactly what the F-150 is, minus this bridge just keeps coming on over, which I really wish they would have just done this with the Super Duty. It would have been cool enough, and the drivers that do buy Fords all the time would still really appreciate it. But overall, storage is really good. I did find in the Chevy that this upper compartment was really small, and then the lid just kind of stayed up. But on the new 24s, when they switched over, this is still small, but this lid does go back into there. But big area in there. You can put a roll of toilet paper if that floats your boat in there. Tons of storage in here, lots of storage in the console and everything like that. Now, I didn't order the Pro Back Trailer Assist. I won't ever use that feature, but it is there if you're one of those kind of consumers that needs it. All right. So as we fire up the truck and everything like that, and we talk about what I like, and that functionality is how easy it is. The Sync 4 Ford system is the most easiest. It is not the most pizzazzy system that you can get out there. I think the Chevy's system is really pretty in their new one. I haven't messed with it a ton, but what I can tell you is even in their older models, some of the stuff was just not as, I guess, intuitive as this one. This one gets my country boy twang when I say something on the voice recognition. But the Sync 4 is a really pretty system, and it's good. It's intuitive. It does everything you want it to be, and you can just basically use it as easy as your smartphone. You can see my greasy fingerprints all over this thing. It doesn't scratch. It's really nice, and it does have Alexa built in. Now, being the Powerboost, I do get the ability to turn on all my outlets when the truck is not running, which is cool. But just like I said, in the Ram, when you turn on your backup camera, you get this really small little chunk of the camera, which I'm just confused as to why they do that. Chevy has a long rectangular panel, which they do give you a big view here, but I feel like it's smaller. But as you can see, the quality is really good. It's not the best, but this is good for what it is. Over here we got the pickup here, and then it showed my sonar system. When I turn that on, you'll see the sonar pop up, and it does excellent for the actual Bliss system and picking up cross traffic alert. I like that. Now, one thing I will tell you is Ford does really well too, is it's my automatic high beams. I highly recommend auto high beams. I have been for years, so if you had a vehicle that had them, I think it's just a great thing to have, because then you don't forget that they're on and doesn't blind the person. Ford, once you turn them on, they're on until you turn them off. The Chevy has a little thing on the end of the turn signal stick that you have to remember to turn on and off each time. The headlights that I put in Kong, after I changed the bulbs out, were already bright enough, so I didn't really even remember most times to turn on the brights. And in the Ram, I was actually really surprised that in the Laramie level, they do have higher end LEDs on the Limited and so far up, but the lighting on that was just not as far as I thought it should be with those kind of headlights, because the Chevy, when I after I replaced the bulbs, had great like projection down the road, even in high and low. And then this Ford F-150 is excellent. It's excellent. It does its own thing. It goes really well, and the lighting is perfect. And when it comes to all the tech is good for what it is. It's more than enough for me. It does have a lane avoidance or lane departure warning. It vibrates the steering wheel. It doesn't really do any lane keeping, and I'm okay with that. I don't need that in a pickup truck. But overall, this screen does so much stuff once we get going, and of course, I do love how it shows the gear selector or gear range when it's going. So you can see right there we have the 10-speed. Now, I haven't been able to tell if this truck does skip shifting. I have a review from a professional truck driver we brought out to drive it. The car enthusiast will be back to take this for a spin and go on the video. And actually, we're going to get somebody new out here to do a little drive test on it and give us their impressions. So what I will tell you guys is, when it comes down to the new F-150, if I'm in the half-ton market, now this truck is rated 11,000 pounds towing, which I think is a lot for a half-ton, and I think you're on the cusps of a little too much. Although some guys would swear by it and say that they would do it, that's fine. I don't think that the brake rotors and stuff are as robust as a heavy-duty truck. So I really think once you start peaking over 10,000 pounds, you really should consider an HG truck. But really, in the half-ton market, and the thing I really enjoy and love about the F-150 is it is a nice place to be. I've always liked my Fords when it comes to drivability and driving, and I think they're a comfortable, nicely ergonomic, I'm saying that correctly, place to be. I mean, it's just comfortable. Everything hits the right spots. The HVAC is very efficient and not intruding in noise. I thought the Chevy was really loud when it produced the air that it did, and that's okay at the end of the day. But you know, I just really enjoy being in the F-150. But where this truck really shines, guys, is we don't buy big SUVs and pickup trucks for fuel economy. That's never really been a thing. But what if you could? And this is why I said a while back when I said brace yourself video, and I'll put a link to that down below, that I think the best truck you can actually buy is not a little diesel half-ton pickup like the older Eco diesel from Ram, which I think is done with now. And then you can always get the little Duramax, because you're dealing with that emissions crap. The diesel here is at almost $1 more of a gallon. This truck is exceptional. My highest tank of fuel that I've got was 30.54 miles to the gallon, so almost 31 miles to the gallon. The lowest I got, and that was when we brought out the truck driver and got some get up and go tests, was 23. I average about 27 miles a gallon in mixed driving, which is mostly, you know, 55 and under traffic and zipping to and from work, remote starting and stuff like that. This truck really shines here, and really it's powerful. It's the most powerful F-150 other than the Raptor, and it runs in at 430 horsepower and 570 pounds of torque. Power is not an issue, even when I drive it always in Eco. So the interior of this truck is really good. And now you're thinking, geez, well, all you said was good things. You're just a Ford fanboy. You don't like Chevy. You don't like Ram. I'm being objective, guys. So there are a few things that I don't like about this pickup, and they are in the minority here. Meaning, so the truck has two distinct rattles. It has a rattle somewhere up here under the dash. I'm not sure what it is. Once it gets warm in here, it stops doing it, but it is freaking annoying. And this is the first Ford pickup I've had rattles in it that was new. So I'm kind of surprised by that. The other rattle is actually over here in the A-pillar. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure that out, where they're coming from, where to stop it. And they're loud. And you might have even heard them just a second ago on the video rattling down the road. Overall, the interior is peaceful, quiet. It's a very, very quiet pickup, and it's very seamless in its driving, and it's really good there. But rattles in a brand new pickup, I get it. Look at all the plastic in here. Plastic is the nature of the beast. It contracts, it swells, it expands, it does its thing, it creaks and moans. So the fact it goes away is nice, but I do drive a lot in the morning when it's still cold, so by the time where I get where I'm going, I've pretty much heard rattles the entire time. That is frustrating. There are no other dislikes about this pickup, guys. If I was in the half-ton market today buying any of the trucks, and you guys know that I love Kong, I'm buying an F-150 Powerboost. 1, to get the power, 2, to get the economy, and then I really enjoy this interior and the seat comfort. I think it is probably, and I think the market actually says it even amongst my opinion, is the F-150 is the highest selling pickup in America. It's going to stay that way if Ford keeps on this trend. Yes, Ford has lots of recalls. Yes, all the manufacturers will have issues, and at 200 miles, the Ram 3500, which was a $90,000 pickup, it already started leaking. I haven't had any issues like that with any of my F-150s. I've had a lot of great luck with them, and I do love this pickup. I've even contemplated getting rid of my fifth wheels just to keep this pickup indefinitely because I like the fuel economy. So when it comes down to everything, guys, right now Ford is also offering a huge discount on 23 F-150s. So because 24 is really not changing a ton, you could go either way if you like the look or whatever, you just wanted the little interior accents that they've changed, and go that direction. But if money is important to you, then it might be a good time to potentially look into buying a 23 F-150. Always, again, check with your rebates and where you live and see if you qualify. But guys, that is my likes and very few dislikes of the new Ford F-150. Guys, again, thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.